Hello everybody, welcome to the next episode in, the platforming tutorial. Yeah, I don't actually have a name for this series. Everything else is like, hey, it's this series, that series, whatever. But this is just the Unreal Engine platformer tutorial. That's kind of a bit of a bummer now. But anyway, as requested by, I believe it's Philip. Let me just double check the name over here. Apparently I don't have that open anymore. But I believe it's Philip. We're just gonna run around and find this fellow's name. Because he's been commenting on the videos. But anyway, the guy who requested that I do platforms next. Pretty sure it's Philip. I really want to say Philip. Oh, I am saying Philip. It is Philip Henderson. There we go. Okay. So Philip Henderson has requested that we do moving platforms. Actually, more specifically, he wants elevators, but I'm going to show you how to make moving platforms that you can then set up however you want. Because that's the whole thing about making a game, is making it your way. So, let's get started. Actually, let's get my recording software up so I know how long I've been going. There we go. Okay, let's get started. So first, we're going to go to our hazards, and we are going to make a new folder, just keeping everything organized. I'm going to call this moving underscore platform. Okay. And we are going to do a new blueprint class, an actor, and we're going to call this moving pause X. Okay. Moving positive X. Actually, no, we aren't. We're going to make this more... So we're just going to do this a moving platform. Moving no space platform. Okay. So we're going to make this more configurable than I first realized. Again, if you ever get this screen, just hit open full blueprint editor. Okay. So first things first, we're going to go to our viewport. We are going to add a cube, because everything's a cube. But also, we need a platform to jump onto, so it wouldn't hurt to have a platform. So there's our platform. It looks a little bit fat, so we're going to skinny it down. There we go. Compile, save. Okay. Now, we are going to start with our event begin play. And we're going to set a couple variables. So let's make ourselves some variables. We are going to get our initial point. Let's call it that. This is the first point that the platform starts at. So make that a vector. Actually, we'll do it starting location. There we go, starting location. Okay, we are then going to do another vector, and we are going to call this ending location. Okay, there we go. And we need 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 3. And we need Xmod. Come on. Ymod and Zmod. This just popped in my head. I was not planning this bit, but hey, let's do it. And we're going to make those floats, all 3 of them. Floaty float, float. Okay. And those 3, we're going to turn the eyeballs on. Okay. And something I don't think we've done yet, but we're going to do this for tidiness sake here, is for these here, we are going to make a new category. We're going to click on our first one. We're going to go over here to category, and we are going to call these location offsets. The location offset. There we go. And then we're going to click our next one, and now we have location offset in this little drop down. And our last one, location offset. So that way we can hide them in here, keep everything nice and clean. The other thing is then when we have it out in our world, we've got a nice header to look for our variables. Okay, but let's get back to making this. We're going to get our ending location and set it. We are also going to set our starting location. So setting starting location. Oops. Setting ending location. And our starting location, we are just going to get actor location. Okay, get actor location. Perfect. We're going to put that up here because we're going to use it for the other one as well. And then we are going to get actor location, and we are going to add, so we're just going to do the plus sign, another vector. And you're going to right click here and split structure pins. This is going to let us edit the X, Y, and Z. So we are going to bring out our X, Y, and Z modifiers. Going to get all those and plug them in. Get. Okay. Excuse me a moment. The music I am listening to currently sucks, so I need to go fix that. As soon as I fix these. There we go, that's good enough. And we are going to then put that there and move this out and move this all back. There we go. That is a nice clean setup. And we are going to find my music that's currently playing that you guys can't hear, but I can, and it's driving me right up the wall. Yay, delete that song, and I can never listen to it again. Great. Okay. So, now we have all those set up. And after that, we are going to do a custom event. So we need to make a new custom event. And we are going to call this start to end. There we go. And then here we are going to run start to end. Perfect. Just like that. Okay. Now on start to end, we are going to use a new variable, or a new node, sorry, that we haven't used before. We are going to use add timeline. Okay. And there we go, add timeline. And timelines are super cool. So timelines will let us change a value over a set amount of time, and it's completely configurable. We're going to double click here. We are going to make our value a float. And I want my float to change over, say, 10 seconds. Actually, let's do 20. Over 20 seconds. Okay, and I want it to, so I'm going to right click and add key to current float, and we're going to go 0 time and 0 value. We're then going to right click, add another key, and at 20 time, I want 1 value. Going to compile, save, and close our blueprint. Okay, the reason why we were closing this is that now when we reopen it, we are going to get to see our full curve on this curve graph of our timeline. So you can see it's a nice progression, linear progression. We can add more points along the way to change that up. But at this point, we are going to, get rid of that node. And just keep it as a linear progression. Okay, and now we can close this. So, now that we've got that set up, we are going to update the position of our platform here. So we're setting 2 positions. We're going to come from here, go to there, and that means we have to set our new position. So set position. Oh, sorry. Set location. And we want set location actor. Set actor location. There we go. Now, these here we can't plug just into each other. So we need something nice in between. So we are going to add a lerp. And we are going to add a lerp for vectors right down here. And there we go. And plug that in. Straighten her up. Move it over. And we're going to move all this down some. So, what this is going to do is this is going to do a blend or an interpolation. And it's going to take us from point A to point B at a given percent. So that's between 0 and 1. And that's what our timeline does here. So our timeline is changing from 0 to 1. Actually, let's name it as such. We're going to come here, and then right up in this corner, hit rename. We're going to go 0 to 1 over 20 seconds. Okay? And you can set the length of this however far you want. Just so it's more configurable for me, I am going to pull off and I'm going to multiply it by another float. And we're going to drag this in and straighten that off. And we are going to right click here and promote to variable. And that new variable will be speed mod. Okay, and we are going to put that under... We're going to put that under our location offset as well. Put it all under that one nice area. And then just straighten things up. Okay. So what this is going to let us do, if I compile and save and give it a value, is this going to need a value of 1 for right now. Is this going to let us change the speed of the moving platform? So it's coming out, it's going 0 to 1 over 20 seconds. If I want it to go over 10 seconds, I can times this by 2. And so on and so forth. Okay, so by changing this value, we can up the speed of the platform. Here's an issue, though, to keep in mind, is that we can never lower the speed with this value. If we make this value less than 1, it's never going to reach 1. And then your platform will never reach its endpoint. So this always has to be above 1. The other thing we want to do here is because this lerp is expecting a value between 0 and 1, we have to make sure that this is never outside of that. So we are going to pull off and use another new node called clamp. So we're going to clamp our float. And what clamp does is just make sure the numbers stay between a certain set area. So we're going to keep it between 0 and 1. Perfect. And then we're going to move these down. And we are going to bring in our starting location and our ending location. Straighten connection. Bring those in. Bring that up. Just make everything nice and tidy. Actually, if we bring that down some, then I can bring this all back, just like that. There we go. All nice and tidy. Okay. Now, if we take this out to our world, we can bring our moving platform out here. We're going to set this to 0 on the Y, and 0 on the Z. And we're going to move it just a little further along. We're actually going to move it down a little tad. There we go. There's going to be our moving platform. Okay. I'm going to save, and we're going to play. Okay. Gonna open our door so we can get over here. And, well, that's an issue. It's not moving. And that's because we haven't set any of our variables. So just like everything else we've made it so that we can set these things. We can set the speed of our conveyor belt. I believe we made it so we can set the speed of our conveyor belt, right? Conveyor platform. Yes, we can set the speed. Okay, so just like everything else, we've made this so we can set its setup. So our location offset. See, it's all showing up here. We also want that speed offset in here, so we're going to double click on here and put our eyeball on speed. Compile, save, and now when we click on here, we have our modifiers and our speed. And our speed's going to be 2.5 because I don't actually want it to take 20 seconds. And then I want it to move on the positive X. So we're going to move it this way. Okay? And we're going to move it this way 6 meters. So 600 centimeters. And now it's working. Look at that. There it goes. Our platform's moving. Woo! Okay. So ain't that interesting? Okay. Now, what we can do with that is, off of our timeline, it gives us this really nice thing saying it's finished. Okay? So what we can do is we can make a new custom event. And we can call this one end to start. Okay? And then we can pull off here and do end to start. So, after the timeline has finished moving this, it's going to play another, or it's going to trigger this. And what this is going to do is the exact same thing. So we're just going to pull over all this. We're going to do Control-C on our keyboards and Control-V. Bring it on down. Plug that in right there. Straighten that off. Now we want this to go start to end. And we are going to swap these. So now it's going to come from our end position to our start position. Okay? So this way, when our platform starts, it's going to start our one animation. It is going to slowly move our platform over to the ending location. And when it's finished doing that, it's going to do this function, end to start. End to start is going to do the exact same thing, except for swapping the locations. And when it's done, it goes back to start to end. So now we should have a platform that goes and then comes back. So let's try that. And we are going to make it a little bit faster yet. We're going to put like a 4 times in our speed modifier. So it should get to its end. And then nothing. Why is it doing nothing? Hmm. So when that's finished, it should play end to start. And let's put a print string here just to test that. So we're going to print string, and it's just going to say hello. And it is not saying hello. Why is it not saying hello? Oh! Because it is waiting for that whole 20 seconds to end. Even though we have the platform going faster than that. So, we are going to change this out a little bit. Because we don't want it to wait all that time. You may want it to, but I don't. So, we are going to take these. We're going to move them off the end here. We are going to break link. We are going to break link. And then we are going to do some comparing. So, as this is playing, it is going to check, or no, it's going to, not check, sorry. It is going to do a branch. And the branch is how we're going to do a check. Okay, so we're going to make a branch. And we are going to ask, is our actor location, so we're just going to Control C, Control V, is our actor location, drag off and do equal, and is it equal to our endpoint? So we're going to straighten that off, move this over and up, select what we just want and move it down, and then move this along. There we go. And if that is true, we want to do two things, okay? So, because we want it to do two things, we're going to use another new node. And we're going to use sequence. Okay? And this lets it do multiple things in order. So, part 0 of our sequence, we're going to come all the way back to our start. And we are going to stop this timeline. And then in part 2, we are going to do the other animation. Okay? This means we also have to change something else. We now have to take this start to end, and instead of telling it to play, we want it to play from beginning. And there we go. File save. We want to also have this one play from beginning, so straighten connection. And then we want to copy all this. Move that down. Paste this in. Run there. Bring this one all the way back to our stop. And then replace end location with start location. Okay. An interesting part of this equals node for variables, or for, vectors, is it gives you this float, which is a tolerance. How close does it have to be? I'm going to say that this can be off by 1 centimeter. And that also lets us drag these back. Oh, not down, back. There we go. Okay, now let's give that a try. So if we compile, save, and play, You now see our platform get to its end, and then come back. And we have a platform that just goes back and forth. Nice and easy like. Ain't that nice? Okay, so with this setup, if we come back out to our main level, we can have a platform that moves side to side. We could change our location offsets here that we have to go, say, up 900, or no, not 9,000, 900 units. For some reason, I like those extra zeros. And now, all of a sudden, we have an elevator. Oh, an elevator that's going up and over. Cool. Because I actually didn't zero this out. I didn't set that as 0. Now that that's set as 0, we will have one that just goes up and down. Yay, remembering to set the right variables. And then we can get on our up and down elevator. There we go. Check that out. We made an elevator. So that platform we can have move whatever way we want. We could even have it shift us side to side. So this would be a neat mechanic for a platformer like ours, where we're running in a single dimension. Or I guess in 2 dimensions, because we also let it jump. But what if we had it sidestep us? So we could have it so that our platform moves side to side. So it actually could step us between 2 different tracks. What do you think of that? There is something that I never thought of for my platformer before, but hey, that might be something we want it to do. We'd probably want a zone, though, that centers us. Like, when we walk onto this zone, we center in the middle of that zone. But that is something that could always be done later. So, hey, there we go. We've got a configurable moving platform. Very simple. And, yeah, in our next video, we'll make it more complicated, like we do. Okay, we'll see you then.